Hi everyone, welcome to our practice video. This is for learning to perform O Canada in sign language. So in this video, we're going to do all of the signing very slowly, explaining what each of the signs looks like and sometimes why. And then we can put it all together. And if we practice this way for a little while, then we'll finally be able to kind of do it fluently enough that we can put it to music. Okay, so starting with O Canada, we start with the letter O. That's like if we were finger spelling, that's the letter O. And because that first note is a long O, we're going to start on, because doing O Canada, you kind of want it to look nice as well as being accurate. In the same way that when we sing it, we want it to sound nice. When you're signing it, you want it to look nice as well. Okay, so we're going to take our O and we're going to start on the opposite shoulder. And it doesn't matter which hand you're doing. I'm using my right hand because I'm right-handed, but if you do the other way, you just start on the other shoulder. Okay, so I'm starting on my opposite shoulder and I'm going to drag it across where we do O. And then Canada is you take a very loose, not like a fist, it's a very loose fist. Your fingers are very loose. And you just set your thumb on top. It sticks up a little bit, but not like a thumbs up, just sitting on top. And then you tap your heart 2 times. And if you're on the opposite side of your body, it doesn't matter. It's the idea that you're patting your heart or your chest. Okay, so it's O, Canada. Then the word for hour, you make kind of what looks like the letter C, and you start it on the same shoulder that your hand is. So I'm starting on this shoulder, and then I go around to touch the other shoulder. And that's kind of the idea that hour, something belongs to all of us. So hour, and then the word for home, you take your fingers and you pinch them together like this, and you touch your chin, and then you touch just in front of your ear on the same side. So you're not crossing, you're doing on the same side. Okay, that's home. And then the word for native, imagine putting your hands together like this, and then they're a little bit apart. So the word for native, you go over your shoulder and you kind of go like this. So from the side, it looks like this. Okay, so that's native. And then the word for land does make sense. It's like the land out in front of you. Okay, so let's see. We've got O, Canada, our, home, and native, land. And you'll notice that we don't say every single word in sign language. We just say the words that are important to get across what it is that we're saying. Say we don't have to say every single word the way we do in using spoken English. Okay, so O Canada, our home and native land. True patriot love. For true, we take our pointer finger, index finger, and you touch it to just under your lip. And then you go like this. So it's kind of like that. And that meaning is, it's like everything that comes out of my mouth is true. That's what that kind of meaning is of that. So true. The sign for patriot, being patriotic means you love your country. So it's like you grab your heart. Okay, so it's true patriot. And then to make that into love, it's very easy. We just add this and it's like you're giving yourself a hug. That's the sign for love. Okay, so true patriot love. And then in all of us command, again, this is one where we just want to get across the idea. It's like we're asking everyone to do this, is kind of the what that actually means. So in all of us, we could do in all, but we don't need to do that. We can kind of say bringing everyone together, all the people. So you put your one arm out like this, your other hand, and it's like you're gathering stuff around your arm. Okay, that's in all of. And then the sign for us, it's sort of men, women, children, everyone. So people, really. So you're going to make a sign that looks like this. It's like that, only this way. Put your thumb off the screen there, like this, and then you point it down. So it's kind of like a person with legs. This is the sign for people or person, and that's the letter P facing down. So that's for all of us. Okay, so in all of us. And then the idea of command, it's not like commanding somebody. It's really like asking that you do this, like requesting. So you kind of put your hands together like this. So it's like two little arcs that join together. Command. And we just make a little oval in front of us. Okay. So in all of us, command. Okay. So let's do that from the very beginning. So we have O, Canada, our home and native land, true, patriot, love, in all of us, command. Good job. And then with glowing hearts is easy and lovely. You make a little heart shape on over your heart. So with glowing hearts. Okay, so that's a heart that's glowing. With glowing hearts. And then we did our was like this. The sign for we, you use your pointer finger. Again, touch the same size shoulder and go around. And it's like we. If you were talking to just one other person and say, we should do this, you would just do this. So you go like that because you're just two people. But when you're talking about a whole group of people or a whole country full of people, we're going to do this, like everybody. Okay. So point your finger on your shoulder, same side as the arm that you're using. And again, it could be either one, but it's on the same side. And then you just do a big circle for everyone. Okay, so with glowing hearts, we, and then the sign for C is kind of like the one we know like this, but it's a little different. So we have those two like your eyes, and you just touch underneath one eye and you go out. So that's the sign for C. Okay, so we see, and then we don't have to say the or you or point to anyone. We just do, we see the rise. Not something rising up like steam or mist or something rising up. We see the rise, and then we want the true north, strong and free. So we already know true goes like that. So the true north, if you put your fingers on it where you can see it clearly, you put your fingers up together like that, and then you push them down. And that's the letter N. And if you imagine on a map, usually the map is sitting in such a way that N points up on the map. So we take our letter N and hold it up a little bit higher, about the same height as your ear. Okay, so the true north, out of the camera here. Sorry, true north. Then the sign for strong, if you take your two fists, this was a pretty obvious one, strong. And then the sign for free is an interesting one. If you make an OK sign, two of them, that's actually the letter F in sign language. And if you put them together and then you cross your wrists, so imagine the idea is that your wrists are tied together somehow and you break free of that. So you break free. Sometimes you'll just see it like this, but oftentimes the person signing it will do it with the letter F. It tells you that it's freedom. You're freeing yourself. Okay, so the true north, strong and free. Okay, so let's do from far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee, and then we'll do the whole thing together. Okay, so from far and wide, so you put your hands together. Sometimes you'll hear that clap, and when you hear someone doing it who is deaf, often you'll hear that because they don't hear the sound. They'll do something really quickly and you'll hear that. So when we're doing this all together and we're doing it for a non-deaf audience, we would try to do it more gently so that it's not such a loud clap. So we're going to do hands together. We do from far and wide. Again, that makes sense, right? Hands far away from each other and wide apart. Okay, so from far and wide, O Canada, we know that part already. We, and then the sign for stand, you have your ground and a person standing. Okay, so we stand, and then there are a couple of different ways you could say on guard. the way that we've typically done it is you do one hand and the other. So it's like you're guarding against something, okay? So we stand on guard. Now, we're actually saying for you, Canada. And now, normally you would point at somebody to say you, but if you had a whole group of people all pointing, it doesn't look very nice. So, the way that we've chosen to do that part of it is we stand on guard for thee. And it's kind of pointing out to the group, to the whole country. Okay. So let's see if we can take it from the very beginning. Okay. So we have O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all of us command. With glowing hearts, we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free, from far and wide. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Now, God keep our land. The sign for God is your hand, just like this, straight up and down. And you start on the top. It's kind of like this part of your thumb hits the top of your forehead, and you just slide it down a bit. So God, and then the sign for keep. We make the letter K, which is a lot like the letter P, but it sits sideways. So that's P, this is K. So we take two of those and we bonk them together. Keep. So God, keep, and we know land. Glorious is a lot like glowing. So you can either do like this, or you can do glorious or glorious. And we know free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. And then again, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. And that's all the signs for O Canada. So if you practice doing it on here, go slowly, stop as you need to, and really practice those signs. The main thing with signing is you want to get the sign precise. So you don't want to just kind of flop around, because imagine if someone's reading what you're saying and that's their language, it's kind of like being really slurry with your words and people can't understand what you're saying. So you want your signs to be really correct. Okay, so when you're doing free, you want to be sure you're not just kind of going like this, because no one's going to know what that means if you speak sign language. So be very careful with your signs, really kind of practice trying to get them as close to the way we just did them as possible. And then we're going to practice it with some music once you've got those down. Thanks very much and happy practicing. Bye.